Good afternoon and welcome everyone to today's webinar. We are thrilled to have you join us today for an engaging and insightful session on preparing for the AI integrated workforce. As artificial intelligence continues to transform industries, it's essential for students across all fields to develop the skills and knowledge necessary to navigate this evolving landscape. And it's our honor to introduce our esteemed speaker, Marquise McGriff. Marquise serves as the Assistant Director for Career Pathways Artificial Intelligence at the University of Florida's Career Connections Center. And is it AI2 Center? Is that what it's called, Marquise?
AI squared.
AI squared, okay. Since joining University of Florida in September 2023, he has been dedicated to equipping students with the tools and experiences they need to strive in the artificial intelligence-driven careers through career coaching and experiential learning. Marquise brings a wealth of experience to this conversation with over a decade of expertise in K-12 and higher education, specializing in student advising, career development, and experiential learning. Before University of Florida, he was a key member of the Career Engagement and Opportunity Center at New College of Florida, where he managed signature internship programs and employer relations. A proud two-time HBCU graduate, Marquise has also expanded his expertise by completing Harvard University's Artificial Intelligence in Business, Creating Value with Machine Learning course. Currently, he is furthering his commitment to higher education by pursuing his PhD in higher education at the University of Florida. Today, Marquise will share valuable insights on how students from all disciplines can prepare for an AI-driven workforce, explore career opportunities, and leverage experiential learning for success. Please join me in welcoming Marquise M. McGriff. Thank you. And with that, Marquise, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you for being here.
Sounds good. Good afternoon, everyone. I recognize it's possible it may even still be morning for some of us, depending on what time zone we're tuning in, but I am excited to speak with you all today as it relates to the AI initiative that we have here at the University of Florida, and I'll specifically really be focusing on our work in connecting students with experiential learning opportunities. I mean, hopefully you all can take from this different ideas and ways that at your various institutions, you all can also implement some of these similar programs and initiatives to also prepare your students for the future of work. I am Marquise McGriff, as Missy shared, and I'm with the University of Florida. I am a part of our AI squared. So AI squared stands for Artificial Intelligence Academic Initiative Center. So it's AI Center, which is why it's AI squared. And currently I'm embedded in our Career Connections Center. I do have my LinkedIn here with the QR code if anyone would like to connect and continue these conversations even after today's presentation. So AI, right? When we think of AI, or not we necessarily, those of us who are in today's conversation, but the world, the public, people who maybe are not engaging in these kinds of discussions, when they think of AI, a lot of different things come to mind. And one of those things is AI is going to take my job, or it's going to replace me. And because of that, there's a lot of apprehension and hesitation from different employees, companies, and even entire industries of implementing AI initiatives in their work. We at University of Florida engage in conversations with many different employers and companies across many different industries. One of them in particular being construction, and they certainly, it's construction, so there are things that people literally have to do, but there are parts of the process which could be automated or augmented by AI. However, we found that that continues to be one of those industries that continues to be hesitant and apprehensive around implementing AI because so many people go into that work because they can work with their hands and want that security. And when you begin to talk about AI, it sets off a few alarms and raises some eyebrows. But all of that being said, beyond just the concerns of the general public, there are some student concerns as well. Here I provide an anecdote of a specific student at the University of Florida who reached out with a very similar concern. The student said that there's a lot of techno doom theory in the news today relating to AI having catastrophic effects on the labor market. I'd like to know if at some point I may need to switch majors or change career plans to account for this. I was originally planning on doing something relating to AI before the ChatGPT hype train, but with how fast the market is moving, I'm becoming concerned that I may not have a potential career path with the degree I'm in before graduation. So this is one specific student who reached out with this specific concern, but we are finding that there are certainly many students who are having these kinds of concerns, and that's why the way that we are approaching AI at University of Florida, we are approaching it from an interdisciplinary lens, being sure that students, regardless of their major, regardless of their classification, be it undergraduate or graduate, being sure that they have opportunities to engage with AI, to hear from companies in their fields who are using AI so that they can begin to get an understanding on what does the future of work for me look like. If I want to be a medical doctor or a classroom teacher, if I want to work in agriculture, if I want to work in the arts, if I want to work in marketing, or of course, if I do want to work in tech, what does the future look like for me? How is AI impacting that? And how can I, as a student, begin to get ahead of the curve? What opportunities exist for me on campus so that I can develop these skills and competencies to be prepared for this future of work? And that is exactly what we are hoping to solve. Those are the questions we want to answer through the experiential learning opportunities we're providing to our students. So our concern isn't necessarily that AI is taking away jobs like the public may be concerned about. Our concern isn't that AI is evolving so fast that student degrees are going to be obsolete by the time they graduate and they're going to basically have to start all over. It's not that way at all. In actuality, what we are finding is that AI is creating jobs. And here is some information from the World Economic Forum that's saying that as these different companies and fields and industries begin to integrate AI, even at the most basic level of just large language models, this is transforming the way that we work, and it is reshaping jobs. It's reimagining jobs. It's creating new jobs or recreating the way that jobs are working. What we are promoting is not so much that AI is going to replace people, but people who know how to use AI will replace those who do not. So it's beneficial for all students, regardless of what field they may want to go in, to take advantage of these experiential learning opportunities to develop those skills and competencies, but also to take advantage of opportunities to connect with industry, to hear from them specifically on what is it that they are looking for. Are we looking for people who can train others with AI, or are we looking for people who know about the behind the scenes and can really explain it to others? Or are we a company that we already have our AI approach, we've already integrated into our systems and processes, and we need people who can help sustain these systems that we are implementing. I love this quote here that I want to put in from our former Secretary of Education. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist, using technologies that haven't been invented in order to solve problems we don't even know are problems yet. So yes, AI is evolving, but so are so many other things in this world. And what we think we need and what we think the world is going to look like, it may not end up being that way. But what we can do is, based with the knowledge, the insight, and the information that we have, begin to prepare students today. Because, if any, for all of us who have had a job at some point, there's the job that you originally signed up to do, and then there's all the things that come later. And then for those of us who have been with different institutions and companies for some time and have showed excellence in our work, we know even that as time goes on, sure, you may stay in the same role, but there may be different projects or initiatives or special tasks that are given to you based on your demonstration and your mastery of other initiatives. Hey, because you did that, we think you can do this. And all of that being said, those are the students that we are preparing, even as it relates to AI. Hey, kid, you don't have to know everything today, but learn this to get the job, and then continue to sharpen those AI skills while you're sharpening your skills you need for your actual job. Because as time goes on and things begin to evolve, you may be the person they go to. Hey, we saw you do that. We think you can do this. Can you lead us into this new direction? So there's just no way we're going to be able to know what new directions different companies, fields, and industries are going to be going in. But if we're equipping students with those skills and competencies, we're confident that they'll be the ones who are able to lead those charges. So all of that being said, if we continue talking about the impact that AI is having on jobs, once again, here is some more information that AI it's creating jobs. We can see a little kind of on the bottom half of the page, AI technology is expected to create 12 million more jobs than it is expected to replace. So in this bullet point alone, sure, it validates some concerns that there will be some jobs that will be affected. There will be some jobs that, may need to be re-examined. Do we need a person to do this, or can this be automated by technology? Or do we need 5 people to do this, or can we use one person who can integrate AI technologies to augment that work? So sure, there will be some disruption. However, there's still going to be a whole lot more opportunities that come out of this than opportunities that are lost. And that's why we believe it's beneficial to students to begin to prepare now for that future of work. So that's laying the foundation kind of on what do we think about AI at the University of Florida, and how are we framing it and approaching it as we're engaging in conversations with students. But more specifically, it's our QEP, so our Quality Enhancement Plan, that we are focusing on for this next 4 to 5 years. So it's our 5-year plan that started last year, and we are hoping for it to, the plan itself to be wrapped up by 2029, but not that we are finished with AI by 2029. But by 2029, we have accomplished our goals of fully integrating this across the curriculum. And when we say across the curriculum, we really mean across the campus, both inside and outside the classroom. So certainly we are encouraging faculty to integrate AI into their actual classroom curriculum, but we also want AI to be present outside of the classroom and other units, both academic and non-academic, to have their own initiatives to prepare students for this future of work. And we're seeing that in so many different ways. So certainly academic colleges are having their own approaches to AI. It's being integrated in the classroom, sure, but there's also symposiums and other programs that colleges are putting on. But there are even those non-academic units. So at the University of Florida, our Office of Community and Belonging just recently had a one-day conference called AI for Good. And that was developed from that office, which is under student life, because they said, hey, we're hearing from academic affairs, we're hearing from faculty that there is some concern around how students are integrating or how students are using AI in the classroom. There are some concerns that maybe they're not doing it the best way, because we don't discourage the use of AI at the University of Florida for your academic work, but we encourage you to do it the right way, right? So our Office of Community and Belonging, being under the Division of Student Life, said, we're going to put on this one-day conference called AI for Good, where we're going to do our part to talk to students about how to use AI, but how to use it in the right way, how to use it for good in your academic coursework, in your job searching, because we're also hearing from industry partners that, hey, all of the cover letters are starting to sound exactly alike. We know people are using AI, but they're maybe not doing it in the right way. So our Office of Community and Belonging said, well, we can help with that as well. And part of that AI for Good one-day conference or symposium was also around how students can use AI even in their job search for ultimate career success. So that is, in essence, our QEP coming to life for all of the campus to be involved in this initiative, to be sure that all of our students are being provided with the opportunities to develop those skills and competencies. There are some specific AI literacy competencies that we've developed at the University of Florida of what we want students to be able to achieve. We want them, as a result of engaging in the different opportunities, programs, and services that we are offering, to know and understand what AI is. And after knowing and understanding it, how to best use it, how to apply it in your work. And after doing that, how can we evaluate, and this evaluating and creating kind of ties in with ethics of how can we be sure that after we've learned about it and we're using it and applying it, are we doing that in the right way? Are we really evaluating the ethical considerations of how we are integrating AI? There is no black and white that we have implemented at UF as it relates to academic integrity or anything related to that, related to AI. It's really around the whole idea of those ethical considerations, and what students should know is cheating, right? So we should know that if you just took the prompt from the assignment and you plugged it into a generative AI tool or an LLM and asked for it to answer this question for you in 3 pages, double spaced, and it then generated what you asked for, and you copied and pasted and you submitted it. Well, that probably is not the best way to approach that, and that is what we want students to understand. Those are the literacy competencies that we want them to master as a result of this QEP, as a result of our AI across the curriculum initiative. And sure, it's okay to use it. We want you to use it, but we want you to really evaluate the way that you are approaching it and be sure that you are considering the ethical implications of all of that. There are also these strategic goals that we have identified on how we are going to approach this work, especially as it relates to career readiness and workforce development for the AI integrated future of work. We want to be sure that we are educating students, alumni, and the campus about these competencies, about the recruiting practices of our industry partners and how the workforce is changing. they need to be aware of what the future of work looks like, so that they are aware of the importance and even the urgency of taking advantage of the opportunities that we are providing. We want to infuse student career development practices across the curriculum, across the campus, to ensure student success and employability. So this should be, after these 5 years of this QEP, even once the QEP is done, this should be woven into the fabric of the university, so that all students have these opportunities. We want to connect faculty and students to industry to foster collaborations, because we recognize that sometimes faculty are not included in these conversations, but it's crucial that they are involved in these career-focused conversations, especially as it relates to AI, because we are seeing faculty are reaching out and asking, hey, how can I integrate AI into my curriculum? But not just for the sake of doing it, but how can I really be sure that I am integrating things that industry is looking for, so that when students leave my class, not only do they have they learned the material, and not only have they engaged in some kind of or developed some kind of AI skill or competency based on what I integrate into my class, but they developed a specific skill or competency that our industry partners have said they are looking for. And then lastly, we want to elevate this university-wide initiative to be sure that not just the campus, but our community, our industry partners, our higher education partners, and other institutions like those of you who are tuned in on the call today. We want to be sure that you all are aware of what we're doing, so that you can also maybe do something similar to be sure that your students are being prepared. So when we talk about experiential learning at University of Florida, there are 7 categories of experiential learning that we've identified. And within those categories, there are very specific types of experiential learning that we want all students to engage in. But specifically as it relates to AI, we are hoping for students to find and to secure opportunities that are experiential learning based, but are also at the same time helping them develop those AI skills. And some of this you will see certainly throughout today's conversation, especially as it relates to research and creative and entrepreneurial works, leadership and involvement. We have developed some very specific opportunities at University of Florida related to AI and these different experiential learning categories. We're very happy about what's being done in the experiential learning space at University of Florida. You can see here that between summer 2022 and spring 2023, there were over 4,000 unique experiential learning offerings for students, with the top 3 being internships, research, leadership, and involvement from the campus at large, and then specifically from student life, leadership and involvement again. We can see internships again, but also professional exploration experiences making their way into here. This is all very good because these are also some of the very things that industry is saying that they're looking for. I'm hoping that this video will play. I'm going to play a little video around experiential learning at University of Florida and then move forward from there.
Very rarely have I talked to somebody that regrets the decision to do some sort of experiential learning. The best way to learn is by doing.
Whether it's internships, whether it's co-ops, whether it's exchange programs, or whether it's simply doing shadowing at a specific site of interest, gives you that direct exposure as to what happens in that particular field.
Those experiences and that mentorship and those internships helped me learn how those jobs work. So it demystified how to be successful, because you learn the different steps of how to do someone else's job so you could do your own job better.
I sought out opportunities to shadow and engage with people that were doing the things that I thought I may be interested in. And being able to see that in real life is helpful, because I think a lot of times we have an idea of what we think a certain job or industry or career entails, but it's not until you actually see the nitty gritty of what happens that you're like, oh, okay, I don't actually want to do that, or I really love this.
My first semester here, I was not involved at all. I was a transfer student, so I came in and my routine was to come to class and I'd go home every weekend. I was here for probably the first semester, and second semester is when I started to get involved in the environmental horticulture department and the horticulture club. Being part of the club led me into TAing Plain ID for 2 semesters. So that experience of a little bit of teaching and meeting other students, that was a great experience. That's really it. It's just getting out and doing it.
Or any student that's interested in exploring experiential learning, I think it can only enhance and benefit your experience and time at the University of Florida. If you're considering doing a placement that involves experiential learning, I'd say go for it. There is nothing like taking what you learned in the classroom and getting into an actual field that you're interested in, and experiencing what it's like to get into one of those positions.
Awesome. So I apologize. Just 1 second. I am now trying to get out of the video. Okay. Awesome. So that's experiential learning at the University of Florida. And moving forward, and a lot of this conversation will continue to be around experiential learning. But if we were to go into that academic space just for a second, there are 4 AI certificates, or here are 4 of the different AI certificates that we are offering at University of Florida. We have an AI Fundamentals and Applications certificate. This is when we talk about our AI certificate, this is it. It's being offered to all of our undergraduate students, where they are required to take 3 courses. 2 of them are very specific, so they have to take an ethics course and then a fundamentals course. And then there's the 3rd course that is being offered by their college. So all of our colleges have created AI designated courses, some of which can count towards the AI certificate, which is another way of how we have integrated AI across the curriculum by involving all of the colleges in this certificate and having them have their own courses for their students. There are also AI certificates in some specific areas, such as in tourism, which is a big industry, at least in the state of Florida, in geography, and in public health and healthcare. So just wanted to kind of throw that academic piece out before I'm really going back and full in on our experiential learning approach. One of our opportunities that we provide to students is what we call AI Days. And it's more or less a week of activities where we do all things related to AI. There is a day of the week for faculty to engage in some conversations and share and talk about their research, but a significant amount of it is centered around students and connecting them with industry partners and really getting hands-on experience, as you can kind of see here in this picture. So this is pictured here, the last day of our AI Days, where we've invited different industry partners who are looking for AI talent to come out for a mixture of sorts, but also different student organizations on campus that are either very AI focused or are offering AI workshops or other opportunities for students to develop AI skills and competencies even outside of the classroom, because everyone isn't going to take AI designated course. Everyone is not going to pursue an AI certificate, but maybe they can go to a workshop that's being hosted between our data science and informatics club and NVIDIA through a collaboration, which is a real thing. So NVIDIA collaborates with different organizations on our campus to provide workshops and other opportunities for students to learn the skills that they are going to need for the future. And through us doing things like this, having these mixers where we're bringing together industry and student organizations and giving students the opportunity to speak to both, they're able to hear, oh, here's what industry is looking for, and here are the different organizations on campus where I can develop those skills. But outside of the student organizations, we also invite our academic units. So our Center for Undergraduate Research, our Office for Research Computing, inviting them as well to this mixer so that students can also see that, you know, besides student organizations, there are actual units on campus that I can go to learn more about what it is I need to be successful, even if it's not being covered in my actual class. During AI Days, we also have different student competitions, which I alluded to earlier when we were looking at the different experiential learning categories. You know, so that student design, you know, category, this is where a lot of that falls under, where students are able to engage with these different kinds of competitions so that they can develop those AI skills. So Gator Tank is our version of a Shark Tank where students can pitch a business, an AI-focused business, you know. Gator Hack is a hackathon. And then there's our generative AI competition where students are able to create different forms of art, be it, you know, an actual graphic or video or a song or something that they have created using generative AI tools. And then they are entering those products, if you were to say, into this competition that is judged by faculty and industry partners. And then, you know, students win these awards. AI Days is presented through a collaboration between our AI Squared Center and our Career Connection Center, at least that Workforce Readiness Day. But also there are so many other partners that it takes to make this possible. When we just had our past one this past fall, we saw an increase of 77% from this fall 2024 to the prior fall 2023. And a lot of that is attributed to the support of various campus partners who we reached out to very intentionally this year or this past AI Days and asking them to share this with their students. So we reached out to the graduate school, for instance. Hey, can you please share AI Days with graduate students so that they're aware? But we also reached out to our Center for Undergraduate Research and asked, can you share this with your undergraduate students involved with research so that they're aware of this opportunity? And as a result of all of that, we saw an increase in attendance, which is something that we certainly encourage other institutions to do, which is when we are having AI initiatives, being sure to really intentionally reach out to various units on campus that may serve different populations of students or students in different ways, that when those students, you know, when I hear from this office about an opportunity, I'm going to respond because of my relationship with them or whatever the case may be. So here I'll pause a little bit for you all to get an inside kind of look on what AI Days looks like at University of Florida.
UF has actually done more than many other large institutions I've seen in terms of focusing the entire university on a single area like artificial intelligence.
UF AI Days is a really great opportunity for the university to showcase the variety of AI influenced programs that the university develops and promotes for students and for students across the state of Florida.
UF is doing so many different things around AI that the opportunity to bring a lot of us together so that we can see just the size and scope of the things that are being worked on is really exciting, because you can kind of get in your own lane and not really appreciate the breadth of what folks are working on.
AI Days is a phenomenal venue for us to really bring learners and researchers from all perspectives and all the domains.
Piece of bowl or something from an archaeological site, we can actually like take a thin slice of it, look at it under the microscope, and it tells us about like where this piece came from. So we can trace out trade routes and migration in the past. Turns out that the exact same AI you would do at Shands on like a slice of someone's lung to look for cancer, we can apply to these artifacts. And so having that kind of overlap and interaction with people you never thought you'd have anything in common with is really important for advancing our work.
The AI Days have made it easy for students to participate. It's made it worth their time, not just the financial prizes, but it's excitement, the diversity of the different topics that are represented.
It's really about sort of celebrating what we've accomplished in the areas of sort of research and education and workforce development around AI, but it's also about catalyzing new ideas for the years to come.
Getting in and participating in something like this helps people understand artificial intelligence and how it has an impact on our society. And not only just the impact, but the opportunities that can come from this.
One of the real interesting things that goes on at a place like UF, we're able to answer questions and have conversations that are several steps ahead of what most of education is doing right now. So one of the things I see evolving out of UF AI Days is very specifically that push to what comes next. And to me, that's just really exciting.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, and we're back. So that's AI Days at the University of Florida. Another opportunity that we offer to students is our AI club. It's specifically or officially the AI Squared Center Student Club. This club is sponsored by our AI Squared Center as a direct extension of our work, and the purpose of it is to serve as a liaison between the center and the student body. AI Days is a prime example of the need for a group like the AI Club. So when I got to the University of Florida in 2023 and experienced my first AI Days, after that, I began to talk with students because I noticed that there was a lack of engagement from students or attendance. And what I was gathering from students was we didn't know that AI Days existed. And for those who did know it existed, we didn't know it was for us. Graduate students thought it was for undergraduate students. Undergraduate students thought it was for graduate students. We said, hey, we need to do something because there are so many other opportunities similar to AI Days on campus for students. And how can we be sure that they know about it? So the AI Club is here to help being sure that as opportunities arise on campus, it's being promoted to students and students are aware, but also as they're hearing things from students, they're coming back and letting us know. Or as they're learning about different opportunities that may be present on campus, potentially happening in their own colleges or other non-academic units that they may be a part of, they're sharing those things back with us because not everyone or everything that's happening on campus related to AI is not necessarily always being communicated with the AI Squared Center because it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's great if they, people do share with us, but sometimes people do not share things with us for whatever the reason. But this group can help us. They let us know, hey, my college is doing this that you all know about. Oh, we didn't, but now that we know, we can reach out and see how we can support, either support with the initiative or getting the word out to more students so that they're aware of that. But also this club, beyond just being a liaison between the student body and our AI Squared Center, they themselves are putting on opportunities and workshops for students, hosting study and office hours for students who may be interested or are currently in some kind of AI course. They are also adding to this list of opportunities for students. So it's something that we encourage other institutions to consider. Before we had our AI club, there was also our DSI club, so data science and informatics, which is another great organization on campus that students can be a part of. DSI works very closely with NVIDIA, which is a very close partner for our campus, and they provide professional development and different workshops as well, where students can go and develop skills. Our AI club, interestingly enough, another big part of that is to promote other clubs or groups on campus that students can go to develop the skills that they need. So as students are joining the AI club, we are asking them, why did you join? What are you looking for? What is your level of AI expertise? Are you an expert, or are you, do you know nothing about AI besides what it stands for? Are you joining this because you're looking for a community? Are you joining this because, you're very interested in AI, or you want to be better prepared for the workforce? And as we get an understanding of why those students are joining, we are then directing them to, oh, it may make sense for you to join this club or this organization, or it may make sense for you to go to this event or go and talk to this faculty member in this college. So that's a big part of the AI club, is to direct students to other groups on campus or other places to develop skills, including other clubs like the DSI club. Our AI Scholars program is an opportunity for students to engage in research, which is another type of experiential learning opportunity that we have found that is valuable to industry partners because of the transferable skills that students develop through engaging with research. Our AI Scholars opportunity in specific allows students to work with the faculty member on AI-related research. And as part of this, the students receive financial support to support the work that they are doing at a total of $1,750. But we also provide the faculty mentors or sponsors of these students. We also provide a small stipend to them as well to encourage that collaboration. So, but through this AI Scholars program, students are able to engage in research. There's our AI Career Fair, or the full name is our Computer and Information Science and Engineering and AI Career Fair, which is open to all students. Mostly, of course, it's our computer, information science, and engineering students who come to the AI fair, but we are also seeing students outside of CISE, but they have an interest in working with or in doing some kind of work related to AI coming to this fair. So this past fall, we saw an attendance of over 2,300 students. This is another example of how we are connecting students to industry, how we're providing these experiential learning opportunities, and it's something that we encourage to be replicated at other institutions. Another great example, and one of my highlights or my favorites, are our AI career tracks. And this is where we are taking students physically to different companies in different fields and industries to hear directly from them on what is their AI approach, where are they, how far along are they, and what skills do they need from students to lead them into the future. So what should students be doing right now if they want to be a competitive candidate to work at this company or in this field in the future? So we can see here that one of the companies we went to is CSX. So that's, the railroad, trains and railroad. But we also have taken students to a marketing company to learn about how AI is being used in marketing. And this is all good context for students because they can see that regardless if I want to work with trains or if I want to work with Instagram, AI is having some kind of effect on that, and I should take advantage of the opportunities I have now at the University of Florida to be prepared for that. Another part of career treks is being sure that we are providing opportunities to all of our students. So not only are we going to companies that are related to different disciplines to be sure that students of all majors can see themselves working with AI, but we're really drilling down even more. So for instance, this trip here was for first generation students, and we partnered with our office on campus that serves first generation students to be sure that they are aware that these opportunities exist and they should take advantage of them. So this was geared and created specifically for them. Whereas tomorrow, actually, we're going on a career trek specifically for graduate students. And we did that because we recognize that, a lot of times, a lot of the work that, we do in the career space and all of that may be really hyper-focused on undergraduate students, but graduate students want these opportunities as well. And when we sent an email out just last week, maybe Tuesday, we saw 70 applications come in overnight from graduate students, primarily master's students, but even some PhD students signed up as well. So we're looking forward to taking them on a career trek tomorrow. This is a platform that we use at the university as part of Pro Network that we call Gator Network. And it's inside of it, we have different career communities, if you want to call them, a lot with our various career pathways. So, of course, there is one for AI. And in this group, our students and alumni who are interested in AI are already working with AI to connect with each other. So it's kind of like a UF-specific LinkedIn. These are our various career pathways at the University of Florida, with AI being a pathway in and of itself, and not because it is a specific field or industry, like some of these others, but we separated it because it affects all of these pathways, and we want students to clearly see it. And that's why as we're going on these career treks, we're looking at the different fields and industries. So when we're going on one to a marketing company, I, in the AI pathway, am working with the coaches in that arts, communication, media, and marketing pathway to identify students who should go on that trek. When we are going to health-related companies, I, in the AI pathway, am working with the career coaches and our healthcare and health sciences pathway to identify students there that should go on this trek. Because there is no, whereas we could easily identify students in these pathways based on their majors, there is no AI major or any specific way to identify who are AI students, all right? AI students are all students who have an interest in AI or who may not have an interest because they don't know or didn't think about it. So what can we do with these other pathways to be sure that we're really getting the word out there so that as students in agriculture learn about AI, oh, I wasn't thinking about that impacting me before, but now that I am aware that it will have some impact, what is being offered to me so that I can develop the skills needed to be competitive in the future. We also have our career hub that students can go to where they can find all kind of career development resources tailored to the different pathways. AI, once again, being one of those pathways, and it being something that's open to all students, because sure, if you're an agriculture student, you should go to your agriculture career pathways page to see what resources are there. But then after that, come to the AI page as well to see what is being offered in the AI space that can complement what's being offered in the agriculture space so that you're well prepared. To do all of this work, it takes a lot of people. There's no way that I could do all of this alone, and certainly, you know, the initiative at large, you know, it's a campus-wide thing, but that career-focused work is my charge, but it still takes others. So sure, we can work with the other pathways in the Career Center, but there's still so many other ways to approach this. And one of those solutions was to start this student engagement work group. And this group is made up of faculty and staff in different units that work with students in different ways to be sure that as we are creating these opportunities, they can share it with those students. So we have a contact from our first generation program to be sure that it's being shared, but we also have a contact from our strategic communications on how can we best share this information with all students. We have representatives from the graduate school to be sure that graduate students are hearing about what's happening, but even housing and residence life. How can we bring AI to where students live? And one thing that we recently did was had a pop-up of sorts in a dorm or in a living community for students where we brought AI to them and share with them. These are all the opportunities that exist on campus. Maybe you weren't looking for it, but here it is, and now you know about it, and you can take advantage of these opportunities. So that's my presentation for today. That's what we are doing in a nutshell as it relates to AI, experiential learning, industry connections, and preparing students for the future of work. But there's still all of these other things that are happening in the academic space and the hyper research focused space to be sure that students are being afforded those opportunities to be academically prepared in their approach to AI. But we recognize that, you know, many students are coming to college because they want to have a successful career in the future, and because companies are beginning to embrace and integrate AI. That's why the work that I'm doing came about, and it continues to evolve, which is a great thing. And we just, you know, we're happy about what's happening at University of Florida, and we encourage others to do the same for their students. So that's what I have. Thank you all for your time. And I think I'll pause here, Missy. Don't know what our next steps would be.
Yeah. Does
Oh,
anybody
man.
have questions for Marquise?
Oh, forgive me. I'm just noticing my camera has been off for maybe the last few minutes. Forgive me.
That's okay, because your presentation takes up most of the screen anyway, so I think we're okay.
Cool.
And I'm gonna go ahead and allow, if people have questions, I clicked to allow you to talk, or you can put them in the chat or the Q&A. You were very thorough, so I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't any questions as well.
Yeah, and what I can also do, Missy, is so one last thing I'll throw out there, which isn't directly tied to my work in specific, but we have over the past years of doing this work, we've had different universities come and visit us in person to learn about the initiative and really discuss ways for them to implement it at their own institutions. And one thing that we've recently developed, what we're working on right now, is an online version of that, so that institutions don't have to fly their people out necessarily to come and hear from us. You can engage in this kind of one-day online summit of sorts.
Yeah.
Really dive deeper and hear from our different campus partners on how they're integrating AI. Once those details are all together, I can gladly share that with you, and maybe that's something that can be shared out for others at different institutions who may want to tune in to that virtual kind of conference to hear even more of what's happening.
That would be amazing. Yeah,
Sure.
we'd love to share that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have other questions for you today, but thank you so much for your time.